The media continued to press President Trump to denounce white supremacist groups, and they claim that he refuses to do it. Well, I recently shared a video showing him doing that exact thing on 7 different occasions. Now someone has compiled a longer video, and it shows him doing it on 17 different occasions. This brings the total number of public condemnations of white supremacists to over 20. But the media, they don't hear very well, do they?
Would you repudiate David Duke?
Sure.
Do you have any words for that?
Well, I disavow. Okay?
So I've disavowed David Duke all weekend long.
I disavowed then. I disavowed today on ABC.
I totally disavow the Ku Klux Klan.
I've rejected the KKK. I don't like any group of hate. Rebuked. Is that okay? Rebuked.
Rebuked.
Done.
Done.
Racism is evil, and those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs, neo-Nazis, white supremacists. And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. I spoke out forcefully against hatred, bigotry, and violence.
There is no giant surge in the number of white supremacist hate groups, or the discredited and left-wing fraudulent Southern Poverty Law Center wouldn't have to keep slandering benign Christian or conservative groups as hate groups just so they can gin up donations. We also know that the ludicrous claim that the rioters destroying blue cities are actually right-wing extremists, well, that's an absolute lie. I mean, if they really were right-wingers, instead of being immediately released to do it again, they'd actually be arrested, jailed, and they'd have the book thrown at them, like anyone in those cities who uses his or her Second Amendment rights to defend his life, property, or family. The idea that Trump supporters are all racist and white supremacists is a feeble excuse the Democrats have cooked up to explain why he beat them in 2016. It saved them having to do any serious self-reflection about why they were really rejected, like the fact that 8 years of Obama-Biden had proven that their policies just simply were a disaster. Incidentally, the one candidate in the 2020 presidential race who actually has been endorsed by a genuine, prominent white supremacist, a guy named Richard Spencer, is Joe Biden. His campaign denounced the endorsement, but Biden himself never has personally. So how come the media aren't demanding that he denounce Spencer's endorsement? Because they really don't believe this is an issue. That's why. It is just another way to smear President Trump over and over and over. Of course, one of the downsides for the media during Trump's quarantine is that it is so hard for some of them to practice basic human decency. Even if they can restrain themselves from celebrating that someone with whom they disagree politically has a potentially lethal disease, they still can't stop themselves from hurling groundless accusations, spinning more ridiculous conspiracy theories, and making up fake news. I guess it's hard to break a habit when you've been doing it every day for nearly 4 years. And besides, fake news is a multi-billion-dollar industry now. So over the past few days, with Trump briefly out of commission, they had to struggle. But they came through. There were accusations that Trump really wasn't sick, and he's just faking all this so he can get out of debating Joe Biden again. Yeah, you know, the guy Trump keeps trying to talk into more debates. But there are also accusations that Trump is much sicker than we've been told, because the White House says he's doing well and they're lying liars who lie. One of the so-called journalists tried to prove that Trump isn't really working by tweeting a photo of Trump signing a document that he claims is blank, as if you could actually tell that from a fuzzy vid cap taken from 15 feet away. I'm still trying to figure out the point. I mean, even if he did just sign some paper for the photo, he is still sitting up and signing things, and he's not on a respirator. Trump derangement syndrome is a sad disease in itself. The press's desperation to spin everything Trump does as evil even extended to blasting him for putting on a mask and driving in a closed car past the crowds of well-wishers outside so he could wave thank you to them. He's putting police at deadly risk. Wait a minute, I thought masks work to prevent the spread of the virus. And if not, why the heck are we all still wearing them? Some even accused him of committing attempted murder and demanded that he face criminal charges and be removed from office. No kidding. Then they do that every time he puts ketchup on a steak. So I think we can just wave and drive on by them. By the way, I might agree that putting ketchup on a steak, that's a crime. It very well may be. Well, the media is doing their best to spin Trump's COVID diagnosis as evidence that he doesn't know how to handle the pandemic. But in the meantime, despite heavy resistance from Democrats coast to coast, the economy continues its steady recovery under the president's leadership. The Labor Department reports 661,000 new jobs were created in September. And that's lower than the 800,000 that were expected, but it was good enough to drop the unemployment rate from 8.4 to 7.9. Black unemployment dropped from 13 to 12.1, and Asian American employment fell from 10.7 to 8.9. The biggest drag on Americans getting back to work was the government, and that's thanks to schools remaining closed. And of course, thanks to some state governments that are keeping businesses closed indefinitely. Those draconian policies, that's what's responsible for the increase of 345,000 in permanent job losses due to employers being forced to just give up and go into bankruptcy because of endless shutdowns. But overall, it's a positive jobs report. And it is the last one that's going to be released before the election. Joe Biden has stopped promoting his Build Back Better slogan, maybe because it's becoming obvious that we don't need massive government intervention to rebuild the entire economy. We just need to get Democrats out of the way so people can get back to work. Say, that'd be a great slogan, but probably not one that Joe Biden would want to use. Well, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed that video, I hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel below. Be sure to click the notification bell and leave a like and a comment, and share this video as well if you really enjoyed it. By the way, if you want more of my news analysis and commentary, I hope you sign up for my newsletter at MikeHuckabee.com. It is completely free. I mean, it really is free. And if you hadn't gotten a copy of my latest book, 3 C's That Made America Great: Christianity, Capitalism, and the Constitution, you can get yours at MikeHuckabeeBooks.com or wherever books are sold. That's it for this edition of The Breakdown. I'm Mike Huckabee.